Hey everyone, welcome back to Yokuo Plays. Today on Mega Man X, we're going deep sea diving with Launch Octopus. Because, you know, water levels are always fun in video games, right? Right? No? Yeah, I didn't think so either. It's a pretty run-of-the-mill water level, although I'm not sure how robots work underwater. Seriously, he works just fine. He must be super waterproof. Or I guess you could say mega waterproof. Anyway. Meanwhile, in deep sea diving, we have sea urchins and seahorses and some really pretty background scenery. I'll give it that. These guys are they are relentless. They will not let up. Meanwhile, I want to make sure I'm checking all the pits just to make sure I'm not missing out on anything good. Knock the light off of that fish, and it makes it a little easier to beat him overall. And we just pound him with lemon grenades. And, you know, take the hit, apparently. That hit was on me, though. That's my bad. Okay, at least he gave us a lot of life energy. And some for the E-Tank to boot. And look, there's more of that oiled, totally not blood stuff. Maybe acid. Where did we land on that last part? I think we decided it was acid, but it totally looks like some kind of oil-blood hybrid. It's a little creepy. Okay, here you have to be really careful, because otherwise you're going to land on those spikes, and, well, Mega Man's pretty much allergic to spikes, so you're going to die. I mean, spikes are an instant kill kind of thing in this game, and all Mega Man games, really. A very frustrating at times tradition, but a tradition nonetheless. Now we have these cool little swirly vortex things, although this one did not take me to the side I want to be on. And this one over here wasn't working, but now it is, so I don't know. We're over here, nothing but some life, but we could use it, so I'm good with that. And continue on, and avoid the acid tubes in the back. Not really so much avoid as much as ignore, completely, in every way. Wait for this, because now we have to fight King Koopa's Doom Ship. Okay, that's a lie. But it is a ship, and it's launching enough missiles to appear pretty Doom-like. Blast it in the face a little bit, it randomly gets destroyed about 5 seconds later, and we enter the secret tunnel. That is an Avatar reference. The airbender, not the blue people. Once again, spikes everywhere, but that's okay, because we're gonna ride this guy. And by ride, I mean defeat. Yeehaw! Get along, little robot-y. Okay, the ceiling could prove troublesome, though. So cling to the wall, hopefully don't fall into any spikes. Spikes are bad, spikes are the enemy. Of course, this guy also has spikes, but his spikes don't hurt me. You can use the green pillars as markers, so you know where the spikes are and aren't. But I wasn't aware of that when I was actually playing through the game, I didn't notice it. I only just now picked up on it, so it didn't do me much good. But the visual clues are there, so it's not just a leap of faith, unless you weren't paying attention, in which case it is. I figured I was safest on the edge, so I just kind of went with it. And now, with that guy gone, and never coming back ever again, we get to fight something. Oh look, it's him again. We just beat you in way worse conditions. But this one digs underground, so that makes it especially tricky. And by especially tricky, I mean just don't get blindsided like this. Jump over him. This is traveling in luxury. Oh, I'm ruining more cars like that. First the car in the intro stage, now this guy. There's been some ride armors. I can't keep a ride to save my life here. Thanks, Mega Man X. Thanks for nothing. Alright, boss time. And this boss technically is weak to the rolling shield. I believe you're supposed to power up the rolling shield as a form of defense and just kind of stand on top of him. However, I don't do that. And it shows that this isn't really working. But I'm persistent, and it does do a lot of damage, it just doesn't stun him. And I still have to get up pretty close, otherwise his projectiles block the shield. Also, I'm about to die. So, if you ever need to use a sub-tank, go to the start menu and select it like you would a weapon. Also, that's the start menu, which I think I may have shown off once. I don't know if it's coming through on YouTube, but whenever he's twirling like that, there is a whirlwind of water surrounding him. I have no idea if that's actually showing up on your end of things, but as you're playing the game, there's a whirlwind of water that you do not want to get in, and it'll suck you toward it. So that's fun. Meanwhile, it seems like it's easier to fight this guy with the X-Buster than anything. Aside from this right now, he had a pretty nice pattern. Getting hit and jump, getting hit and jump. And your X-Buster can take care of those tornadoes. Not tornadoes, but torpedoes, rather. No problem. So, pretty easy stuff overall. Just, I don't know that the rolling shield's really worth using. Maybe powered up, it actually makes him flinch. I'm not incredibly sure. I only really checked into that afterwards because it wasn't working like it should, and it's been some time since I've played. So, that is the less optimal way to handle him. Now you know. And we get Homing Torpedo. Horming Torpedo. That said Horming. I kid you guys not. Go look at it. H-O-R-M-I-N-G. Huh. I have never noticed that. Okay, cool. So we have the Horming Torpedo, which I am assuming is a typo. Boomer Kawanger. Kawanger. It's probably Kawanger. Following Japanese pronunciations. But, Kawanger. It's kind of funny. And we're in, I don't know, some sewers or something. Kind of feels like sewers. Something I will absolutely give Mega Man X. The locations are fantastic. They're really pretty to look at. There's a lot of life happening here. Not so much like actual life, but there's just a lot to see. There's a lot to take in. Versus the original Mega Man games, which don't quite have that so much. They're pretty games for their time, especially. But this absolutely took it a step further. Now, the room that we're in right now, these red beams, you hit it, those guys try to shoot you. It's a security system of sorts. They're really easy to avoid, though, so I really didn't worry about it. Meanwhile, turtles! Dead turtles. In fact, these never touch me. They're pretty easy to hit and kill as long as you mash that attack button and then dodge the missiles. This is a little harder, though. It's an auto-scroll section, and of course, Mega Man's allergic to spikes. So you hit a spike, you're dead. Like, dead. You're crushed and spiked at the same time, and the walls are spiked, so you can't just hug a wall. Luckily, we have made it through pretty easily, so that's good. Continuing the vertical escapades. Ow, my mega face. That mega hurt. Should we start saying mega in front of everything? Or wait, normal Mega Man should be doing that. Because in the Ruby Spheres cartoon, they called him Mega for short. So, he should be saying, my mega face, that mega hurt. This guy should be saying, my X face, it X hurt. Although, if you're following different Japanese things for naming conventions, my cross face, it cross hurt. Street Fighter Cross Tekken comes to mind. And the Nintendo NX, which I swear was supposed to be pronounced in cross, because it's a cross between a home console and a portable. I'm talking about the Switch, in case that information is dated by the time this goes online. Meanwhile, that heart tank back there, we can't get to it. We need the weapon that you get from this level in order to get it. So I have to come back with the weapon from this level. We'll handle that during our cleanup, though. So, as the record stands right now, we have to go here and Chill Penguin stage for 2 heart tanks. We're also missing energy tanks, so we have to locate those as well. And it's possible I've just kind of missed a couple. It's completely possible, but I'm not really sure right offhand, so we'll get back to that later. Don't worry, we'll check it out beforehand. Okay, time to fight Boomer Kawanger, who is weak to the torpedo. And this is normal weakness. Thank goodness. Ah, you are pesky, aren't you? Okay. What are you, the Flash or something? First we had Heatwave, now we have the Flash. Any other DC superheroes want to come out? Oh, and Chill Penguin's cave is basically Superman's cave. The Den of Solitude? Is that what it's called? I don't remember. I apologize. But no one has had... Wait, Armored Armadillo stage is pretty much the literal Bat Cave. Yep, it's complete. This game is DC superhero stuff confirmed. Does that make Sigma the Joker? Or Sigma Lex Luthor? They're both bald. Welcome to the DC universe of Mega Man X! Also on that screen, we have options to look at maps of stages and the specs of the bosses, which I'm not doing because I have not cared enough to do so. But I will care enough to go fight Sting Chameleon. And trust me, it's gonna sting for him. This is the part where the sunglasses would fall down onto Mega Man's head, and you get the yeah thing. If you're savvy to internet memes, you know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, you have no clue, and that's okay. Just pretend I didn't say anything if you don't get it. If you do get it, feel free to laugh. Laughing's cool. Okay, this is interesting. Up here, we have a hidden mini-boss who you can only hit in the head. But why? Why would we come up here to do this, you ask? Well, find out in a couple minutes once I finally beat this guy. This is pretty formulaic. If you're up high enough, he will jump over to your side of the screen. And if you're down on the ground, he'll try to grab you. Even though we didn't tell him he could do that. Rude. But I guess that's why they're the bad guys. And we just keep doing this for a little while. And eventually, he'll die. Now, he doesn't have a life bar, but you can tell how much damage he's taken on. At different stages of the fight, his head will start to smoke. It should start pretty soon. And the more it smokes, the closer he is to being dead. Or whatever the robot equivalent of dead actually is. It'd probably help if I wasn't missing some of my shots, but nature of the beast. See, his head is starting to smoke now. If you hit his body, it just goes ding! Like that. Actually, that was perfect. Continuing on. This is very easy, but you just have to get in a rhythm. If you're not good at rhythm, it might be a little more tricky for you. Also, this guy probably has a weakness, but as with every other mini-boss, I'm not sure what the weakness is. So, X-Buster, bust, man. Buster or bust. It's wordplay, guys. That's what we do here. Aside from completely witty commentary. Okay, so we're smoking a lot more now. Kids don't smoke. Smoking is bad, okay? Also, if you've noticed, this guy has legs, but they're only for jumping. He doesn't walk. Just a fun observation. He doesn't walk. He doesn't aim his arm up when he goes to grab you. He just reaches straight out in front of him. He's not a very smart robot, and that is probably why he's a mini-boss instead of a final boss. And our reward. Why would you put a mini-boss here? This capsule contains a new type of body armor. It will reduce damage to your system by 50%. Why would you put this here with a mini-boss? Did Sigma know that it was here and put the mini-boss here to keep me from it? Either way, I am in complete armor now. So we've got 100% of that. Also, I can't get out. There we go. Apparently I'm too good at getting out of capsules and I locked the screen. Now it's interesting because up there is the armor upgrade. Down here is another secret. Can't use use fire underwater. And nothing else seems to be working. But we have a head upgrade. And that's exactly what we need. Now, because we beat Launch Octopus already, there is water down here. Without Launch Octopus being defeated, there would not be water down here, and we would not be able to do this yet. Because there's seriously no way to get over there without water physics. But I need to be able to dash jump, and I can't do that with this here, so for some reason putting my foot on that made it break. Because armor. Don't ask. And this, if you mess up that dash jump, you will die. But you got what you came for, and it remembers. So up there was the armor upgrade, down there was the heart tank upgrade. So, yeah, not bad. For one little section of a level, it's pretty good. Ow. And these guys can pretty well just be jumped over, generally. As long as you're careful. And of course, since all those holes led to other things, we gotta check these holes too. Or some of these holes anyway. Check that hole seemingly at random. And yes, I know I'm talking about checking holes. Har. Yes, okay. Very funny, guys. That's what she says, all the phrasings. Okay. We have punching riot armor, and we are sinking. And I accidentally jumped out of my riot armor. Did not mean to do that. If you hold up and jump, you come out of the riot armor. To get out of the sinking abyss, you just jump. Luckily, this is going pretty well for us. Go up here, get that, and grab this one on the way. I mean, we're taking a lot of damage, don't get me wrong. And now I can't move my suit. It is stuck. So I have to jump out. I thought it was going to blow up, so I didn't bother trying to jump out. I eventually realized that we are sitting here far too long and took matters in my own hands. Nothing up there, so let's head into the boss. This time we're fighting, I don't know, some wood nymph or something. And I forgot to set the weakness, which is Boomerang Winger's weapon, the Boomerang Cutter. So let's grab that real quick. Let's go back to that. There we go. You change weapons on the fly with L and R natively, but since I made R my dash, A is to cycle the weapon to the right. And it's really hard to control which way the boomerang goes, if you even can. It might be completely random. So I just had to keep shooting and hope for the best. And of course right there we missed, but it's okay. We have a lot of life left, and he does not, more importantly. And with that, all 8 Maverick bosses have been defeated. On the next part, we'll do some cleanup, and then we'll hit the Sigma stages. And those don't take long, so we're getting pretty close. Until then, we get a new weapon and a new password, and we will see you all at the beginning of next part for some more Mega Man X robot fighting action, complete with Chameleon Sting. Until then, catch you later. Bye!